Come on, say hi.
Hi.
Alright, hello everyone, and now welcome to a game between Infi and Happy, taking place here on Twisted Meadows. Over here on the top right-hand side of the map, we have, well, Infi spawning as the red human. Meanwhile, was it Happy? Yes, yeah, Happy spawning as the blue undead over here at what I'll call the 5 o'clock position and Twisted Meadows, and it is going to be your classic human versus undead matchup. Now, I am streaming this on Twitch, so if for some reason you start to see text happening over here, well, those are just the viewers who are currently watching, giving up their comments and saying hi to me, you know, all those types of typical sort of things. Alright, so no viewers yet, but I don't really expect all that many. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed yesterday's game with the Tauren Chieftain first, let me know. Remember to like it, and, well, yeah, just give me feedback. It's lonely sometimes casting. You don't really know who's watching all of your videos out there. I do like the amount of thumbs up I've been getting lately, and it definitely does help. Everything that I do right now, all of my ad revenue. Yeah. Hello, Crota and daughter. Happy New Year from Denmark. Well, Happy New Year to you too. So yeah, just yeah. Everything that I'm doing right now, all of the ad revenue, all of the donations, it pretty much just goes towards, well, my internet bill. That's really why I'm doing this. I have very fast internet for my local neighborhood. I think it's like $125, $150 a month. So it does help off. And yes, if you guys like that Tauren Chieftain first, apparently Sofu is the only one that's able to speak for all of the fans out there. It was a really great game, as we're going to be taking a look at the militia clearing out this creep camp fairly fast. Rock Golem will get taken down. Death Knight not even going to try to make its way over, as we see that the Rock Golem will get pushed and pressured down here. One Water Elemental is all that is left. That is the major damage dealer. Tome of Agility with a Belt of Giant Strength, not the items that he was looking for, as the Archmage does level up to level 2. Archmage will, in fact, have a bonus 150 hit points because of that 6 additional strength. And with that, well, he's going to have a very good time in those early skirmishes against the Death Knight. Normally, the Death Knight only has to deal with a 475 hit point Archmage. At 625, with the additional natural regeneration that 6 strength provides, well, it makes it that much harder to focus down and take down those units. Water Elementals will go ahead and finish off this particular creep camp. Apparently, yes, there are sheep in the background. You should be finishing your homework, young lady. Alright, as one Knoll does get taken down. Death Knight, however, finishing off a 5-3-3 creep camp. Happy New Year, Daromorts. And yes, I wish you the best to you and your family as well. As we see up north an Acolyte just wandering around inside here. I'm going to get an easy look. We are going to be getting up an Arcane Tower, as well as the Militia are already making their way down. And this is a crazy attempt by the human player Infi, because Infi is actually expanding close to his opponent. Does he know what's going on here? He does have a footman here. Is he still going to try and engage this? And he is going to engage this even though the Death Knight is nearby. Alright, Forest Troll Trapper going to get taken down by the Death Knight there. There's a little bit of experience steal. Death Knight now wandering back off to the north. Militia now trying to pull back here. Water Elementals, well, getting a little bit ensnared as we're looking at the Ogre Warriors. Death Knight still has enough for 1 or 2 Death Coils. There is another Death Coil there. Archmage wants to pick up that Tome of Agility. As we can see, all the units are still fighting back. Alright, continuing that fight there. One Peasant does get taken down. Skeletal Minions could get taken down as well. Archmage trying to put pressure onto those units as another Peasant is taken down as well. Death Knight has enough for another Death Coil, and this was absolutely a dangerous play. As you see, the Death Knight is going to try and Death Coil. They're unable to finish it off, though. Archmage does get the Talisman of Evasion, as the Militia are now trying to chase down the remaining units. Death Knight low on mana after trying to steal the remaining targets, as the Crypt Fiends are now trying to put pressure back once again. Footmen, Crypt Fiends now putting the pressure down. We should be looking at Peasants starting to build some towers. Perhaps an Arcane Tower first, just so that those Skeletal Minions can no longer pressure. Undead players normally do not get a lot of units early on. Crypt Fiends will be helpful. And we may actually be looking at, wait, a lumber mill first, perhaps? Nope, it is going to be a town hall as well. A Crota in 2018. Yes, it is 2018. All right, footmen are going to be left behind to try and defend. Death Knight is going to be brought over. Archmage, where is he running off to? The Archmage is needed in this upcoming fight. Perhaps seeing the tail end of those units now making their way over as the footmen are now ready to engage. Do the footmen have defend? No, they do not, as they are now trying to run back. Arcane Tower has not even been upgraded yet, as the Skeletal Minions are now making their rounds. Alright, in comes the attack. Skeletal Minions are going to try to push their way through. Water Elemental has been dropped down, as the Skeletal Minions are trying to focus down onto the peasants instead of the footmen. Alright, 1 or 2 peasants may get taken down. There, Death Coil. There goes one. Another peasant, very, very low on life, but beautiful path blocking there to prevent them from getting finished off. Another Skeletal Minion now taking down footmen. Looks like they had defend for just a moment, as we now see a little bit more pressure. It looks as though, yes, Crypt Fiends will finish off another peasant there, as the Death Knight sits borderline level 3. Death Knight, however, extremely low on hit points, will be forcing to pull back. Hello, Liverpolista, as the Skeletal Minions are now putting pressure once more. Alright, Skeletal Minions going to try and make their way over. A wall of water going to stop them, though, as the Skeletal Minions are now just pretty much running over. Arcane Tower is going to be nearing completion, and that Arcane Tower does deal extra damage and feedback damage, so that Skeletal Minion will get taken down before he is able to finish off that peasant there. Meanwhile, back at the action, Archmage is now dealing with the Lich as well. Double Water Elementals. Are we going to see a Crypt Fiend getting taken down? That is the big question right there, right now. Down to 30 hit points. Archmage is running over, gets slowed by a Frost Nova. Is it going to be able to get there in time? Oh, blocked by a sheep. Unable to chase after it long enough, as the Death Knight may get to level 3. That Water Elemental will get taken down. We are looking at footmen now making their way over as well. We need to see some healing getting underway, as we still do not have a tech to tier 2 at the keep. So far, everything looking pretty much on the up and up now. Archmage needs to perhaps pick up that Clarity Potion and that, Scroll of Regeneration. All of these footmen and some of the peasants would really like a little bit more health, as we now see more action coming back the other way. Our Death Knight is right here. Are we going to perhaps see the Arcane Tower? Yes, get in on a little bit of action. Frost Nova could end up finishing things off. Skeletal Minion does finish off a peasant, as the Archmage now makes its way over. Alright, a little bit of extra damage. This Skeletal Minion, well, not going to even matter at all, as he's going to disintegrate due to a timed life. A large army of footmen. Let's take a look at this. Obsidian statues. Happy is in a great spot right now to try and fight back, as he's going to be able to, outlast if it is on even terms because of that healing. Now the problem is going to be whether or not there's going to be enough here, as the Lich may be in a little bit of trouble trying to maneuver around a bit too much and ends up getting surrounded and caught. Death Coil saves once. Is it going to be able to save another? Scroll of Town Portal now transferred over. There it goes. The Scroll of Town Portal was used exclusively, as the Death Knight is going to go ahead and teleport back. Alright, Death Knight may try for another Death Coil here. Lich is going to go ahead and heal back up. Double Obsidian statues already ready to go, as the Water Elementals are going to get back into position. Alright, all they need to do is just force time, as we're going to see Infi doing what Infi does best in this game, which is building tons and tons of towers. Alright, tons of guard towers are going to be ready to go. Masonry upgrade is nearly completed, as the Water Elemental tries to slowly run away. Archmage does have Talisman of Evasion as well, making him that much more difficult to finish off and kill. Water Elemental low on life, as I will check this in just a little bit. You can go upstairs or watch me. Alright, Crypt Fiends now coming back across here. Frost Nova onto all of those footmen, but the footmen get a surround onto the Death Knight. As you remember earlier, the Death Knight was in fact, transferred that Lich, transfer the Scroll of Town Portal to the Lich, but now is going to be going back the other way. Another beautiful Death Coil right there. Perfect timing, as the footmen are just ending up getting destroyed. And this is a problem with a human expansion going up against the undead. If you do not have the proper units, all you are really doing is feeding experience to the Death Knight and the Lich. You can see the Lich is almost at level 2. The Death Knight is strongly at level 3, and just more units are getting taken down. Lich already at level 2 now, and all of these footmen, as they're falling, is just going to cause more and more problems. Devour Magic, 1 destroyer already up. It looks as though another Water Elemental could get taken down here. Still have double Obsidian statues, as we're going to absorb more mana. Are we going to see a third destroyer up into the air? Not quite sure. Yes, it is going to be 3 destroyers, and then they're just absorbing everything and now going to try and push before the towers are done. Going after those, after those buildings. Crypt Fiends going after one, while the destroyers with mana are going after another. This is beautifully, beautifully done, as you're going to see them now just absolutely destroy once again. All right, low hit point destroyer now down to 2 hit points, able to escape. All the towers are pretty much gone. Beautifully played, beautifully done. And this is just a heavy, heavy investment that is costing far too much. Lich now coming back around the other way. Water Elemental, Devoured Magic taken down again. Footman going to get taken down. Death Knight almost level 4. You can see the guard towers are trying to be constructed again. And wow, this one guard tower could just get taken down so quickly, as the peasants are going to get taken down as well. What is happening though? Where is the Death Knight? Why are they retreating? Death Knight perhaps a little bit too low on mana and hit points, but he had the pressure. He had him up on the ropes, and he decided to back off. All right, regrouping is often a good idea, but at this point and stage in the game, I wasn't quite sure. Death Knight coming back around does have a potion of mana. Let's see what's going to be happening here. Absorbing more mana again, both turning into destroyers. Death Coil. All right, an army of destroyers to try and just finish off all of these units. And now, what is the proper counter when your opponent just has that many destroyers? Not much you can really do except try and cut your losses. Save everything else. Destroyers are now all gone. Or, excuse me, targets are all gone. Destroyers are going to soon lose all of their mana, and this is still going to be a problem. Death Knight, Storm Bolted. Crypt Fiends are all right here, ready to go. Lich does have enough for a Frost Nova, but pretty much not going to worry about it, as the Destroyers are going to go to town, well, at the castle. All right. It looks as though one does get taken down. Death Coil finishing off another one here. There are still plenty of towers and not enough mana to really allow for what is absolutely needed. Destroyers trying to finish off some units. There goes one peasant. Peasant after peasant after peasant are going to fall here. Destroyers, however, do not have mana, hence the lack of splash damage that the destroyers so desperately want and need. Flying machines are going to start to get added here. There is a gargoyles and ghouls off over here, and they're going to switch their targets. Meanwhile, back into the center, the Death Knight could actually just easily clear out this one particular creep camp, perhaps get to already at level 3 there, level 4 there. We're at 59 supply, and that is just purely an army of destroyers. So many destroyers up in the air right now, but without the obsidian statues, things do get a little bit crazy. All right, gonna go ahead and go after the Forest Troll Warlord now. Are we perhaps gonna be going after some pandas as well? Breath of Fire gonna be extremely useful, trying to take down these flying machines. As Lone Gargoyle is know what's gonna hit him. A bunch of flying machines, and that is just, well, not even a fair fight right there. Coming back across the other way. Let's take a look. It is going to be a panda as the third hero. No big surprise at all. As we are looking at the flying machines now trying to pull back here. The panda needs to get to level 3 for that level 2 Breath of Fire. It looks as though the obsidian statue is going to come across, try to heal everything up, finish off the town hall. We do have level 2 masonry upgrades, making it fairly difficult to finish off these buildings with just magic damage, piercing damage, and heroic damage. Coming back the other way, the flying machines do have 1-0 upgrades. Is there another set of blacksmiths? No, there isn't. This blacksmith is going to soon be at the 2-0 upgrades, and wow, what a predicament. Taking down the blacksmith might have actually been the more important target than actually the town hall. Panda is off over here, gonna join in on the fight, should get to level, or almost get to level 2 off of this one particular creep camp. Your standard 5-3-3, Archmage and Paladin. Excuse me, Mountain King. Mountain King with the Ring of Regeneration and a Potion of Greater Healing. Also with a decent amount of mana with the Mantle of Intelligence, so that's gonna actually work out well for him. Back across here, we're still looking at, well, Devour Magic, not very useful at this creep camp, as we're going to be looking at the Rock Golem, who is immune to magic damage. Panda now sitting at level 2, perhaps going to get closer and closer to 3. The Panda needs to engage and finish off this Rock Golem here. Only 3 targets can really fight it and take it down. The Lich is going to go ahead and back off once more. This is just a late game creep fest, as both sides are trying to get more resources, get more experience onto their newly introduced heroes to make them have an impact in the upcoming fight. Expansion, however, at the 12 o'clock position was quickly shifted over. 12,000 experience? It just finished. If you guys did not keep track of that, only about 30 seconds ago. Flying Machines still flying around 2-0 upgrades. It really is going to come down to whether or not the destroyers, in fact, have mana. If the destroyers have mana, then pretty much everything is over. If the Panda has mana and lays down a good number of Breath of Fires, all bets are off. Let's come back across over here. 533 creep camp gonna get cleared out. Population count 65 versus 50. That means that it is what? Now it is 14 gold a second versus 7. It was 20 gold a second versus 7 because of that additional expansion. As we're taking a look at what we are going to be transitioning to next. All right, let's take a look. Gloves of Haste picked up by the Pandarin Brewmaster. Is the Mountain King going to be able to make it away? No, he is not. Death Coil finishes it off as the units are now making their way back off to the north. This base has never looked so bare. 2 guard towers up against 6 destroyers. Those destroyers are going to finish off the guard towers extremely quickly. That magic bonus damage, and that Panda is still looking very, very happy right now, getting a little bit more experience, and it looks like Happy is just going to finish up this expansion and perhaps the game. Paladin, third hero, finally in play. Mountain King still needs to get ready to go. Those flying machines could in fact flank. The Panda is in the perfect spot, as those flying machines do not want to have any flight patterns within breathing range of that Panda. All right, Breath of Fire. Oh, beautiful split across all of those units there. Flying machines flanking from every which side. And this might be a big, big change because the Panda's Breath of Fire is not going to be enough. Death Knight, however, gets to level 5. Both sides still fighting their way through. This Panda could have gotten another Breath of Fire there. I believe 4 destroyers were taken out. And there you see the population count drop down to 48 for a split second. Meanwhile, back down to the south, why were there militia there? I do not really understand. Archmage is still looking to get more experience. Paladin got to level 2 off of the destroyer kills, as the peasants may perhaps try to repair some of these flying machines up overhead. All right, yes, you can see that the peasants are on auto repair here. Units are now trying to make their way in. Auto repair is absolutely necessary. Not enough peasants are in position. Meanwhile, Paladin and Archmage away from the action. What are they really doing? I do not know. They're unable to really protect, as the Altar of Kings is going to end up getting taken down. Breath of Fire, somehow those peasants did end up surviving. Are they going to be able to make it back far enough to perhaps repair? 3-0 upgrades now on the flying machine. Knights joining in on the fight. The Knights, I do not imagine, want to join in on the fight until the remaining units are gone. Paladin has True Shot Aura, though, so the True Shot Aura is going to give even more damage to these flying machines, plus an additional 2 damage per attack. That is going to be absolutely huge, dealing 19 to 23 piercing damage, and that it also does have a splash. Back down to the south, you can see all of those guard towers are pretty much going to get taken down, but this is really just buying time. I believe that's all the Archmage really wants to do, to buy time, as the Archmage Paladin Mountain King combination. You got to remember, the Mountain King still has very good items. If the Mountain King can get to level 3 and the Archmage can get to level 5 and the Paladin can get to level 3, all bets are pretty much off. Okay, transfer the Ring of Regeneration to the Paladin, please, or the Archmage. The Mountain King does not need it right now. Gave the Potion of Healing over to the Archmage or to the Paladin. All right, at least that makes sense. Mountain King absorbing a bit more, finally gives the Ring of Regeneration back over to the Paladin. Meanwhile, back over here, are we going to have a Scroll of Town Portal? That is the next big question. Did the Mountain King bring one? No, it did not. As we are looking at the destroyers now pushing through, 58 supply compared to 52. Flying machines overhead, just constantly being repaired. Why are they not flying over these guys here? That I do not know, as a single ghoul looks to finish things off, and there are a bunch of peasants off here as well. Flying machines, are they just patrolling? Not 100% sure where they're looking to go. Panda may catch some of those. Yes, a big Breath of Fire. And wow, Absolutely, absolutely in the red zone already. Where are they going to be traveling to next? What are they hoping to do? No Staff of Preservation. That does come as a big surprise. Mountain King sitting at level 2. Paladin sitting at level 2. Both of them not high enough level, as we are going to be looking at the Panda sitting at 26 mana. All right, Stormbolt onto the Panda very, very quickly. One Flying Machine now taken down, going after some units. Divine Shield in time onto the Paladin. As the Paladin could try to come back the other way. Breath of Fire comes back the other way here. Destroyers are trying to finish off some more units. It looks as though the Archmage is running laps away from the other heroes. Meanwhile, more and more targets are just fighting, and there was a big mana attack there. That Destroyer with enough mana to at least do a bit of damage. Paladin and Mountain King still fighting. Death Knight does have enough for a Death Coil, as it looks as though Holy Light trying to save that Knight there. Alright, Paladin is going to be in a bit of trouble. Iwana mana stealing mana away. Where are all the units going? Can that Paladin make it back out? Stormbolt onto the Death Knight, the unit that actually has the Unholy Aura that's giving a movement speed bonus, as everyone is just now trying to regroup. 44 supply compared to 44. This one Town Hall nearing completion. The main town halls and the main gold mines, about a minute and a half left. No, this one, 20 seconds left, and that's going to be all she wrote. Well, I'm not sure who's going to be better in this next situation. So far, though, there is... Well, you need peasants to repair all of these flying machines. So many units in the red. And with one Breath of Fire, they are all going to get taken down. One Destroyer now finishing off this Town Hall, and that is going to hurt tremendously as well. Paladin is at level 3. Mountain King is at level 3. Paladin with the Ring of Regeneration, one of the best possible items there, as the Destroyer is now looking to get away, perhaps realizing, you know what, perhaps the flying machines are on their way over. Death Knight sitting at level 5 with an Orb of Darkness. That may change everything, giving another anti-air attack, as you see the Obsidian statues launching some attacks back the other way. Alright, is the Archmage here? Archmage should not be anywhere near this fight, needs to get away, not give take any of the experience. You see Boots of Quelt the Loss, a little bit more additional armor. Is this going to get canceled? Yes, it does get canceled, as the peasants are now taken down. Lich now at level 5, level 2 Dark Ritual, level 3 Frost Nova. That accounts for a whole bunch of death here in just a moment. The water elementals are not going to be enough to challenge the Destroyers, which are now taking to the skies, especially since we see, well, flying machine after flying machine just taking so much damage. What you see is now what you get. 861 gold. All right, Mountain King, Stormbolting, Frost Nova, Paladin, Divine Shield, trying to get away, running in slow motion. The Lich running around, getting as much mana as possible. This expansion is not here, even though it shows up on the minimap. All right. What was that? I thought I heard a Goblin Sapper for a second. All right. Flying machines, Destroyers are all across over here. There's some flying machines trying to get into position. Breath of Fire could come in any time. Wow, quick attacks already, as the Goblin Shredder is also joining in on the fight as well. All of these peasants, what are they really trying to do? Breath of Fire, Arcane Tower, removing the mana from that Panda. Big, important loss of mana there, as a Stormbolt does go down onto a running Death Knight. Flying machines trying to go after some targets, trying to run away. Are they going to get taken down? Yes, more flying machines taken down. Flying machines, Flat Cannons, Breath of Fire coming across. Destroyers, is it enough to really finish it off? Who is owning the skies? Who is owning everything here, as the Archmage still trying to fight things up here? Panda, Breath of Fire timing was off. Goblin Shredder unable to finish this round onto the Lich. Lich, Frost Armor, does have a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, and Happy takes that game. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Wow, very intense game there. Happy off of one base, mined significantly less, but gave a lot more experience. A 5.54 compared to a 5.53, and also that Breath of Fire not maintaining the health on those flying machines as well. Just all of those things caused a lot of problems. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.